and recognition. First up is an update from our Central Education Association. Is Jessie able to join us now?
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. Okay,
Jessie, give us 1 second to get the PowerPoint up.
Okay, that's okay. I can introduce myself while you're pulling up. There we go.
Perfect.
Awesome. So my name is Jessie Padilla. I am a first grade teacher at Ash Creek. I also wear lots of hats in the community. I'm a community member. I've lived here since 2001. My husband went through Central School District. I did not. I'm from Massachusetts. I'm a parent. So I have a daughter who graduated last year, and we have a son also who's a senior this year. I'm also a union leader. So I'm a member of our executive committee as Ash Creek's building representative. And I'm here tonight to share with you a little bit as their building rep. So I put out to the staff at Ash Creek asking if anyone had anything that they wanted to share with the board about what's been going on at Ash Creek. And I got a lot of stuff back. So I tried to put it into a presentation for you that wasn't too long, but we had a lot to say. So Emily, you can go ahead, the next slide. So the first slide up, let me move myself here because I'm blocking myself. I wanted to introduce our PE club that our PE teacher, Mr. Anderson, is doing. He has first and second graders coming on Mondays and third, fourth, and fifth graders coming on Tuesdays for a half hour each. And it's just giving them an opportunity to get some extra movement, some extra PE time and some extra face time with him, and a little bit more of a relaxed setting than their normal PE class. And next slide. Okay, another club that we have going on right now, Miss Flugum, who is our amazing music teacher, is doing a recorder club. She's doing it with all third through fifth graders, and then there's some second graders who are in a blend who are also welcome to join. She does level 1 on Wednesdays and level 2 and 3 on Thursdays for a half hour each. Right now we have a total of 37 students. Level 1's the yarn belts, level 2's the colored bands, and level 3 is the beads. And basically they get to choose a song to work on or play during that time with a group that's kind of at their same level. So, thank you. Okay, so this one's big for me because I'm a first grade teacher and this was ours. So the first grade team at Ash Creek actually just won a grant through our union, through the OEA, the Promising Practices Grant. So the three of us on the team got $500 to increase the cultural diversity of our classroom literature, because as teachers, we don't usually get money to buy new books. So this was really exciting. Our goal was to buy books to help students see themselves in their stories as well as other people. And not only did we look for books where they would see themselves, but also we tried to focus on books that were like contemporary stories that were written by people of color. So a lot of these stories, the authors have a very personal connection to the story, and they're amazing. So we were able to get 39 books between 3 classrooms. We got 13 books each. They're hardbacks, and you can just see the selection here that we were able to put into our classroom and put to use right away. So that was a really, really amazing thing to get this year. I had to share this. So this is Hadley, and her mom said I could share this picture with you. This is a picture that I received in messaging after the week that we spent kind of learning about Martin Luther King during the holiday and the presidential inauguration. And the message that she gave, so she was showing her with this book, and she wanted to let me know that that weekend they had gone book shopping, and Hadley was allowed to choose out any book that she wanted. And some of the books included toys. And her mom said, nope, she was all about, she wanted to learn more about Martin Luther King. She said they've been reading it together like crazy. I know since then they've bought more books, and she just wanted to throw out an appreciation saying how much school has been opening her mind and thanking teachers for the way that they're teaching. So that was a really fun thing to see. We now have student leadership at Ash Creek. We have a student leadership team. And what they wanted to say is that because student voice and engagement is really important at Ash Creek, that all 4th and 5th graders were invited to complete an application to join student leadership. They meet every Monday. Their advisors are Mrs. Fluga, Mr. Anderson, our PE and music teachers, and then Mrs. Hunt, Mrs. Navarre, Mrs. Michael, our SEL team, our socio-emotional learning team, and our principal, Mrs. Wildthing, advise them. We have about 20 students right now on the team. One of the things that they're doing right now, they're focusing on supporting the Ella Kieran Food Bank by sharing out with the community how the food banks supports the community, and also advertising. So they've been creating posters to display in the community, making a video. They're designing digital posters. They've also been working really closely with our PBIS team at the school to make videos to be shared out with students and families, to teach those new school-wide routines and preparations for students returning to the building. So kind of all these things that are going to be new if and when students return, to help the kids understand it and to hear it from another student, which is really important. They have adults talking to them a lot, so when they hear their peers sharing information with them, it's really helpful. Like, hey, this is the door you're going to use, or we're going to use hand sanitizer. So also next week, Patty from the food bank will be joining the meeting, and she's going to be sharing out some more about the food bank and answering questions that the students have. Okay, so there's several slides on this one. They'll go pretty fast. The 4th grade team just finished a holidays in different countries unit. Each student was able to choose a country to research, and then they created a project to show what they had learned. And there's just some neat pictures here to show the different ways that the students were able to showcase what they had learned. On the left, you can see a diorama that a student made about the Amazon River in Brazil. They shared that picture with the teacher. And then on the right, you can see actually a digital brochure that a student created on Switzerland. And then the next slide, oh, they might have gotten out of order. Okay. No, that might be me, Emily. I was messing with them today. I might have put them out of order. We'll go back to 4th grade when we come back to it. Go ahead. Yeah, we can go here. Okay. This is just a big time shout out. We have an amazing food services team. They've been out in the weather every day serving lunches to our community's children and families, making sure that all students are fed who need food. So Ms. Diaz, Mrs. Rivas, and Mrs. Seaborn, I get the opportunity. I often go out for a walk during the time that they're serving lunches, and it's really fun to watch the kids kind of pop out of their cars and greet them, and they're so excited to see them. So they're doing some really amazing work as they are around the community at the other schools, but this is our crew, and they're out there every day. So rain or shine. Okay, there's some more of the 4th grade. So you can just see a couple more of the brochures. The one in the middle and the one on the left are also ones that children made by hand on paper. And then up there in the right is another just example of a digital brochure. So it's really exciting to see some of the learning that the kids are doing digitally, the abilities and the way that they're embracing technology and learning how to do new things that they may not have done in the classroom. So that's some of the fun things that we're seeing as they're creating these projects, and also having the ability to choose how they want to put forth their creativity, whether they want to make something hands-on or they want to create something in the digital world. And I think, yeah, this might be the last 4th grade one. So this is just a couple examples of students who did a forest ecosystem. And obviously these are ones that they did by hand. And shared with their teammates through video and through pictures. I think that's the last one. Oh no, this one's really cool. Another student, he made desert ecosystem digital flashcards. So this is just an example of kind of the front of his project and then one of his flashcards. So I thought that was pretty cool. I know they're surpassing me in my ability to do digital work, so. Okay. This was just something that the 1st grade team actually wanted to share. So like I said, we spent a week kind of focusing. We took the Martin Luther King holiday and the presidential inauguration, and the fact that if you look over there on the left where it says Purposeful People, I don't know if anyone's ever talked to you about this before, but the elementary schools adopted a new socio-emotional curriculum this year called Purposeful People, which is amazing. And every month it focuses on a different character trait. So far we've had courage, respect, perseverance, gratitude. Honesty was last month in January, and we just started kindness today. So it went really well. On the right there, you can see a brainstorm poster that my class did in terms of talking about what a good leader is. And I had to share that because these kids are so amazing. You can see a little bit of what they said. These are their words. That third one down, leads people in what they should do. The student who shared that wanted me to be sure that I wrote leads people in what they should do, not tells people what to do. So what they're learning in terms of what makes a good leader, all of those character traits that are kind of wrapped up into that have been really fun to watch. And then down there, just in the middle, I just put a couple of the social studies standards that were taught with this week. There were many more, but kind of that idea of describing the responsibilities of leaders and team members and demonstrating the ability to be both. That's a little bit what we've been doing in social studies. Okay, so this is a picture to showcase. I don't know how much you get a chance to kind of see what it looks like. This is the teacher view, so this isn't what the kids see. But what you're looking at right here is a math small group. So you can see that there are 5 students, and these are 5 students that are kind of all working at the same mathematical level. And what this picture is showing, you can see that RSLE is holding up her board there. So she was given the opportunity in 2 minutes to write as many numbers as you can. And then they showcase their work one by one, or one does it each day. This is a way to check for math fluency, to check for accuracy, and then also to do a quick reteach. So after 2 minutes, she held up her board. So that's her fluency, how fast she can write those numbers. Then her accuracy can be immediately checked by the teacher. Like you can see that she has all of her numbers present, but then if you look, you can see that her 4s and 9s are backwards. So that allows the teacher to do a quick reteach in the moment, a mini lesson with students, perhaps on number formation, how to make those numbers. You can also see that right now Gabriella is talking. She's lit up in green there on the bottom left. So she is actually reflecting on and reacting to her teammates' work during the small group work. Okay, lunch bunch. So Ash Creek has something called lunch bunch. And the kids right now have an hour-long break. And the first half hour of their lunch, they're invited to meet with Mrs. Hunt, Mrs. Michael, and Mrs. Navarre. There's about 20 kids who are meeting for lunch bunch daily. And it's really just an opportunity for them to connect with each other, learn about building character, and have like some slightly unstructured time like they would when they're in school. It starts out, the kids are given the opportunity to share how they're feeling, what they did over the weekend, whatever's on their mind. And then they usually transition to an activity that focuses on that character trait of the month that I was telling you about. So for instance, down on the right, you can see an honesty wheel. That was in January. The kids get to spin it. They get to take turns. And then it just has different scenarios that give them an opportunity to talk about what choices they would make and how they would handle different scenarios, and just kind of get them talking about those things. And then they usually kind of end with an upbeat song and a share out. Okay, so these are just some of the words of the students who come to Lunch Bunch. They wanted to have their words shared as well. So Bella said, I get to talk to people and play games while eating. Jordan said, I get to see everybody every day and hang out. Abram says, I get to talk with other people while I eat lunch. Allie said, when we started school, I didn't have anyone to eat lunch with. My teacher suggested Lunch Bunch. I'm excited to talk to other people while I eat lunch. Blake said, I like hanging out with everyone. Dylan said, we play fun games and talk about different character traits. And then, let me see if I can move. So on my screen, it's blocking actually. I forget whose that was down at the bottom, but it was kind of cool. He said, I like the wheel. We even use it at home to decide. I think he said, what's for dinner? Oh, there it is. Yeah, Braden said, what's for dinner? So it's actually really kind of a cool way for parents to kind of learn some strategies for use at home as well, that they're using it at home and using some of these strategies. All right. In addition, our socio-emotional team also gets a chance to meet one-on-one with some students. And Mary Michael, who's one of our socio-emotional leaders at the school, shared, and she got permission from the student and his mom because she thought this was so cool. He shared one day that he was feeling angry, and it just had to do with something that he felt like he wasn't very good at. And so now before he says goodbye, he focuses on sharing something he is good at. And he really took it to heart and then went ahead and made a 16-slide presentation and said he's just going to keep adding to it. So it's all about the things he's good at. He's getting ready to share the slideshow at Lunch Bunch. And other kids are starting to email in videos as well, focusing on what they're good at. And actually the next slide here is an example of, so here's his cover. He called it The Things I'm Really Good At. Colton Sapp did this. And then the next page is just one example from his slideshow. So he's really good at football. So this was a slide that he shared. Super proud. He's super excited that we were going to share it here tonight. So, all right, Miss Nancy just wanted to share that her afternoon groups are currently building and creating slideshows about presidents. And yeah. Okay. So Mrs. Monroy, she's our TOSA, and she's one of our superwomen at the school. And she just wanted to share out quickly about how 3rd through 5th grade tier 3, which is our intensive reading intervention groups, are doing. We currently in the 3rd through 5th grade levels have 34 students who are working at this intensive level. There are 4 IAs and then Mrs. Monroy who are teaching the groups. There are 7 groups total that are meeting Tuesday through Friday. And Mrs. Monroy just really wanted to share, she was excited about the fact that the methods that they're using are really good for all learners, but particularly our emergent bilingual students in the groups. There's a lot of visualization, there's a lot of repetition, and there's a lot of vocabulary being used, and they're getting actual books sent home that they're reading in the groups together while they focus on their vocabulary development and an ability to read in different ways. Okay, special ed, I just actually put their words right in here. They wanted to share out some of the successes that they're seeing this year. All of the students in math groups have made at least a half a year's growth already. This was before we hit the half year. All students in grades in 3rd and 4th groups, typo on my part, they've made at least half a year's growth in reading and comprehension skills. They're currently working on enhancing their writing skills and just started their reasoning and writing curriculum with the 4th and 5th graders. And then in social skills, special ed is working on relationship building with peers and adults. So learning how to identify and solve problems, how to handle stress, and then also how to persevere, which is a big theme for this year. And then she just wanted to share that the assistants in special ed have been doing such an excellent job supporting those social skills groups and in the instruction every week. Okay, this is Nori, and this is just another example. So I showed you a math example. So this is an example from a reading group. We've been focusing a lot on retell. So the ability to not only understand a story, but to be able to retell it, that you understand what happened, you can retell it in sequence, you can use those sequencing words. So this is just an example, again, from another small group. There's looks like 4 students in this group. They read a story together, they focused on comprehension, and then they worked on their writing on dry erase boards. All of the kids have a dry erase board and marker and eraser, and we make sure they do. And the second they say they can't find it, we usually send them a new one because it's so amazing how much they're able to do and share with us. So this is her retell about the story that they were doing. And just in this little glimpse of what she did, I kind of put ideas around of what we can focus on for doing checks for accuracy and her understanding. So we can see if she understood the story. Did she use punctuation in her writing? Did she use finger spaces in her writing? Are her sight words spelled correctly? Is she sounding out unknown words? Is she using sequencing words first, next, then, after that? Is she using a left alignment when she's writing and then properly using a return sweep when she gets to the end, returning to the left? And is she starting her sentences with capital letters? And just like in math, this is a really great way for the students to kind of check in with each other. And again, the teacher can see if a student is missing some of these things, they can do a quick reteach on the spot for that group. Okay, last slide. This is pretty exciting. This is Lila. She's one of our amazing 5th graders, and she created the winning design for the Ash Creek PTA's T-shirt design contest. So she'll be getting a free T-shirt and a gift card from a local business from our PTA. And pretty soon, if you want one of these sweet T-shirts that say Stronger Together, ACES, you will be able to order one through our PTA because this is her design and this is what will be on our T-shirts this year. And that's all I have for you tonight.
Thank you, Jessie.
Thank
That was
you,
great.
Jessie.
Thank you.
Okay, that takes us to our OSEA update. Do we have Cindy joining us?
As we're waiting, I think just want to highlight a couple pieces from Ash Creek. It was very clear in a couple of the slides, you saw students really doing the work together, and then where teachers were adding in those instructional points. I think that is a huge part of learning and growth for students, the ability for them to learn and grow with each other, and then having excellent teachers to be there to do, in the moment, helping them maybe make a shift or a quick lesson. That's what it's supposed to look like every day, and I'm just proud of what Ash Creek and what they're doing, and all of our schools continuing to do in this distance learning. So thank you for that.
Can I ask Jessie a question before she gets off, if she hasn't? Can you hear me?
We can.
Yes,
yeah.
we're checking.
My question was for Jessie, with some of those, they sound fantastic, like the PE group and the recorder group. Are those actually students are coming into buildings?
I don't see myself, but can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
No, this is completely virtual. So they're coming in through the platform, through the virtual platform, and they're participating virtually.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, Cindy, are you there?
There we go. How about that now? Hello,
Perfect.
board and others. I just wanted to give you an update on what the OSEA. We've been involved in getting